Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs pick up some big news on the recruiting trail today as they add a commitment from three-star offensive lineman Jacob Hood out of Tennessee, one of the largest prospects in the entire country for the 2022 class. This guy is a real-life giant, 6'8", 340 pounds. That's what we have him listed at. We've got a close source down in Miami who said that on his official visit to Miami in June, he was like 6'8", 6'9", about 370 pounds. Way too big right now. So we're going to stick with that 340 that we've been told. So 6'8", 340, again, one of the biggest linemen across the country, one of the biggest prospects actually in the country. And he chose the Georgia Bulldogs today over Miami, Auburn, and many other programs. Of course, if you've been on Dog Post, you saw this coming. This is not a surprise. And you were kind of just waiting on him to make this announcement because you knew that he was going to be a Georgia Bulldog. So, yeah, big time commitment. Don't let the three-star ranking fool you here. This is a guy that the Georgia staff really likes. Down year overall for offensive linemen, not only across the country, but in the state of Georgia as well. There's no Amarius Mims. There's no Andrew Thomas, no Jamari Sawyer in the state of Georgia in this recruiting cycle. So they do have a commitment from Griffin Scroggs, an in-state kid from Grayson, but other than that, they're going to have to go out of state, and that's what they did with Jacob Hood. They saw that he's a big, just giant offensive lineman, and there's a lot to work with. Of course, you can't teach size, and that's exactly what he's going to bring to Athens. He took his official visit to Georgia the weekend of June 11th and made sure to come back to Athens in late July, right before the season really started going on. So the last time that he was able to take visits before the dead period, he made sure to go check out Georgia. So again, if you're on Dog Post, you saw this coming, and this is a big deal. Again, he's not a 5-star kid, and right now he's not ranked as a 4-star. I think he's a low 4-star prospect in my eyes, but again, he's got the size and he's got the potential to be an impact player for Georgia down the road. He's a guy that I don't think is going to be asked to play very early in his career. He doesn't really need to. This entire 22 class is about building depth and bringing in guys who, could really turn into an impact player once they sit a couple years, learn what they're doing, develop their craft, transform their body a little bit. That's what Jacob Hood's going to have to do. You don't want him rolling out there at 340 pounds at tackle. Now, he does move well for his size. He's not a ballerina out there with this incredible, footwork. He's going to have to learn how to handle SEC edge defenders and pass rushers. Right now he plays for a very small school in Nashville, Tennessee. Doesn't play against great players. And if you turn on the film, he's just bullying kids left and right, just absolutely dominating them. And right now it's easy for him, but it's not going to be that easy, of course, once he gets to the SEC and practices against these elite Georgia edge defenders and pass rushers. So he's going to have to take some time to develop and learn exactly what he's doing. But against these smaller, weaker opponents, he's just taking these kids and just tossing them, especially in the run game. They don't pass a whole lot. So again, that's something that he's definitely going to have to work on, is being a big-time pass protector at tackle. But the size is there, and he can absolutely maul some of these kids in the run game. I mean, he's basically taking these kids and just throwing them off the field, past the sidelines. Very Michael Orr-ish, if you go back and watch The Blind Side. I mean, it looks a lot like that. So the level of competition is not great, and that's why he just dominates these kids on every single play. But Matt Luke, saw what he likes. He sees a big 6'8", 340-pounder and says, you know what? I can teach this kid how to play. It might take a couple years, but give him to me. I want him. I can turn this kid into something special. So that's what the plan is going to be for Jacob Hood. Again, you can't teach size, and that's what he has. He's got the length. Still going to have to transform his body a little bit like everyone does. But, another 3-star guy. I think a lot of Georgia fans are not going to be super thrilled with that. But, again, this is not a great year for offensive linemen. Georgia took the guys they needed to last year, knowing this was kind of a down year and that they needed to get guys who, will bring size and potential to the team. And that's exactly what he does. He's not going to be a guy who plays early, in my opinion. He's going to have to sit back and figure things out a little bit. But He can dominate at the level he is now, and I do see a lot of potential there and what he can bring to Athens. So this is number 16, their 16th commitment in the 22 class, second offensive line commitment. Both are three-star guys. Both are guys who are big and strong and powerful, but just three-star guys. So not ideal, but you know what? In this cycle, I think this is perfectly fine. They want to take two more, I think. It's going to be tough because, again, the guys just aren't there. The big elite offensive linemen are committed elsewhere. So Georgia's going to have to handle and then stick with the 3 and 4 star guys. Elijah Pritchett is an in-state guy who has Georgia in his top 4. I don't think that Georgia's going to land him. Ernest Green is a guy who took a visit to Georgia this year. He's a high 4-star kid from California who is very interested in Georgia. Took a visit out there this summer, and he's going to be at the Georgia-Clemson game. So is Jacob Hood, by the way. He told us last week, actually gave us some quotes about why he chose Georgia. So make sure you're on Dog Post and checking that out. Of course, we had the scoop. Of course, he made sure Dog Post had the scoop for his story. Great kid. So if you want to know in depth why he chose Georgia, make sure you head over to Dog Post. So he told us all about why he chose Georgia, and he also told us that he will be in Charlotte this upcoming weekend for the Georgia-Clemson game. So this is a guy who's going to bring size and potential to the team. If there's 2 takeaways from Jacob Hood, it's massive, giant-like size, 6'8", 340. And of course, he's going to provide some quality depth. Don't think he's going to play much, like I said before, but he's a guy who could make an impact and maybe be a starter, maybe in his 3rd or 4th season. But if he can learn how to play the position at a high rate, I do think he could be a guy who, might be the sleeper of this class when we look at it down the road, guys. I really appreciate you all watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on the website.